Heyo, welcome back to the Undrafted and Unqualified Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Anthony. I'm here with Vinny again. We're back. All right, hopefully this will be the norm moving forward. Back in person again too, which is nice, which it's been like I think a month since we've both been in person,
I
something
think
like
so.
that. So
Yeah. You've had like two, in the
had
past
two
four, you've had
two
two.
myself and
So,
then one on Zoom.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah, about a month.
yeah. But yeah, hopefully this can be a little bit more of the norm. But
hmm
yeah, I know Vinny had a good week for fantasy, but I did not. My teams were terrible. Thank you, Bijan Robinson. But it was just a weird week. So many blowouts this week. Buy Mageddon, six buys, like
hmm
wild week. So hopefully week nine can look a little more normal for football as a whole. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, this is also getting to the point where like you're starting to understand if you're a playoff team, if you're not, if you have to go out and make moves to like
Yeah.
put yourself into just getting a spot. Because we were just talking about it right before we started, is in fantasy football, for example, Bijan and McCaffrey combined for 13
Yeah.
points this week. Those are guys that are averaging 25
Yeah.
points. They're
Yeah.
like staples of your team that you're counting on, and they go and drop a dud like that. And that can happen. It's gonna happen in the fantasy
Yep.
playoffs. So really your goal should be to just get in.
Mhm.
Anything can really happen. You might
Yeah.
not think it. There's gonna be weird weeks that, like we said in the playoffs. So but this is definitely a week to start considering like comparing yourself against the pack. If you're right outside the playoffs, if you're a couple games back, like
Yep.
go and make a splash move. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. All right, let's get right into the recap. So we got some news, big time news to cover. So we'll start Scadaboo, brutal. The
Yeah.
ankle is 90 degrees. I think they haven't confirmed it, but I think he's done for the year. So Tyrone Tracy, priority pickup. It just sucks. We all love Scadaboo, so
Yeah.
oh,
I almost feel like it definitely does suck, but like his play style, you can't blame it on that, but just like
the
he
crazy part
seeks
though, it
contact.
wasn't that.
No, I
The
know, but
crazy
it just felt
part.
like it was bound to happen eventually. Like guys that
Yeah,
play that way, even if it had nothing to do with it, it's just like he's his play style is the reason he's so good, but it's also like when
yeah.
you seek contact like that, you're so much more prone to.
hmm
But yeah, it's so brutal. I don't even really feel excited about Tracy. Like I really
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. I don't
It
know.
just feels like a
He's gonna
volume
get work.
start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, tough.
Yeah, I mean it sucks too because it's like of course, like you said, he's gonna get hurt just running like a bowling ball all the time. But the fact that it wasn't because
Yeah,
of that and it was
exactly.
like just a freak accident, it
Yeah,
sucks even
yeah.
more. Saquon also got hurt. I think they're listing him day to day for now, but he came out of the game. They started running in Tank Bigsby mostly, so it's just something to watch, but they're going on bye. Same thing with Judkins too. Judkins is also they're listing day to day, but he came out of the game early. Sampson got a lot of receiving work, but they're also going on bye. So I think those are weird ones because they're going on bye. But yeah, we'll mention a few names later that you could pick up.
I think in both of those situations, especially Saquon's, I'm not worried at all about him.
Yeah,
He said he could, if it was a closer game, he might
yeah,
come
yeah.
back in. In Judkins too, I think like a lot of times when it's injuries like that, especially to high volume players like Judkins on the Browns, like he gets used a lot. He gets 20 touches a game. You could also chalk that up to game script where they're just being cautious. So
Mhm.
both those guys, I'm not really worried about at all.
Yeah,
I think you could feel good about them coming off the bye.
I think so too. Terry re-aggravated the quad. There's no update on it so far, so just be aware if that is if you did actually re-aggravate it bad enough to miss time. Luther Burden, concussion got ruled out. Not much there. Wentz done for the year, so getting surgery, which means it is JJ. It is JJ, and if JJ were to miss more time or something, oof. But we should expect JJ back this week, which is kind of a downgrade for the offense as a whole, as we alluded to in your cells last week.
Yeah.
And lastly, Pacheco is listed as week to week right now. So, yep, Kareem Hunt and Brashard Smith are both in the waiver category for today. I'd prioritize Hunt, but I think both are fine pickups. Uh, Brashard, well, Hunt short term. If Pacheco's to miss time, I think Brashard could be a longer term option.
Yeah, that backfield, I mean, we could get more into it with when we talk about the game, but it's just kind of one that I want nothing to do with really. Like I can't imagine starting any of them unless there's significant injury to like multiple people in that backfield. If it was just Brashard Smith, then I'd start being interested. If it was just Kareem Hunt, I could get behind it. But
Mhm.
Kareem Hunt's definitely the goal line guy. But yeah, I don't know. Like both those guys, it's just hard
Yeah.
at this point in fantasy season to like rely on a try committee of
Yeah.
guys that if Pacheco's healthy, they're used every other
Yeah.
down.
What do you do if Brees gets traded there?
I mean, it's Brees. If they trade for a guy like
Well,
that
you
and they
then
have
yeah,
three,
yeah,
it's
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 Brees,
all
but
Brees.
yeah,
But hey, that's a good question though,
yeah.
because that's his like ideal, or that's the spot that's all getting talked about by everyone.
Yep. Couple more pieces. Rattler benched. He will not be resuming his starting role either. It's Tyler Shuck moving forward.
Did they
They
announce that?
announced it
Okay.
today. So Tyler Shuck is going to be the quarterback for the Saints moving forward.
Wow.
I kind of prefer Rattler for fantasy, so
Yeah.
it remains to be seen with
Yeah.
Olave,
That's a
but
dumpster fire.
yeah, man. I get it though. They're not a good team. You gotta throw the rookie in there at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And then last piece of news, Lockett back to the Raiders. Nice. All right, let's go to the
Pick him
games.
up in all
Yeah.
leagues, please.
Let's go back to the
Wide receiver.
games.
Yeah.
Thursday night game, Chargers in one of I think all 13 blowouts this week. The Chargers blow out the Vikings. Yeah, Carson Wentz looked terrible. Uh, Fat Dookie in his diaper. The running back room. I was so hyped for Jordan Mason. He goes 4 for 3 and one catch. Aaron Jones back 5 for 15. He got more of the work, more of the snaps. But the leading rusher on the team was Xavier Scott with
Was
2 for 16. 2 for 16 and a team you can run on.
I mean, they're getting
Anyways,
killed though, so you gotta give me
anyways,
some credit.
yeah, what happened here with yeah, Jefferson had a solid game. Addison scored. Hawkinson's a bum. I wouldn't do anything with Hawkinson's borderline droppable. What do you do with the running backs though moving forward? Do you think it's Jones, Mason, or a split?
I I think you just I mean this one's tough to judge off of just because of game script. I
Hmm.
mean, Mason's not a receiving option, and I believe Aaron Jones got hurt again at some point in the game.
Did he?
I think so. I think I could be wrong. I don't, but
Huh.
regardless, like this is a tough one. I don't know. I really don't feel comfortable starting either of them. I know,
I think that's the way. Just
yeah,
wait and see,
yeah,
because we saw at the beginning of the year Mason was actually getting a decent chunk of the work. It felt like 50-50, but Mason was rushing. And both were startable. But right now, especially after this game, it's just wait and see. They get Detroit next week, which is a terrible matchup. I'm benching both.
you.
Uh,
I
yeah,
I would
wait and see.
I would say if I had to pick one, it'd be Mason just because of like when it
Man,
gets to a
I'm
goal line.
opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather go Jones for the receiving work because I
Hmm.
think Mason's just going to get stuffed as a rusher this week.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying for this week. I'm just
Oh,
saying in
moving
general,
forward.
just because of the
Yeah, moving forward,
goal
I think
line
I'd go
work for
Mason.
Mason, like you get 6 points for a touchdown. You
Yeah.
get 1 point for a reception. So like
Yep.
I know it could be more frequent getting receptions, but like if Mason gets in the end zone, he has 30 yards even, like that's
Yeah.
10 points. You're not like pissed at him at the end of the week. So
No.
like I don't know. That's
It's
my
game
thoughts on it.
script, I
Yeah.
think, with this team. As for the Chargers, Herbert looked amazing again. Kamani Vidal, this
Yeah.
dude is actually good.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
saying Hampton's going to miss more than 4 weeks, which means Vidal's in line for at least one more game. I think it could be another 3 games where he's the starter. And we'll talk more about Vidal later. But yeah, I think this was a really good game. He ran well. He ran with juice. You love to see it. He's the guy moving forward for them. The receiving room, we said week 8, so this is the
We did.
week.
I missed it last week.
So Lad McConkey, 6 for 88 and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 4 for 44. Huge, 0 targets, 0 receptions. And Aronde Gadsden, 5 for 77 and a touchdown. So
And
what do you do? Like Trey Harris was on the field too. He scored a touchdown. Um, what
yeah.
do you do moving forward? Because I have my take, but you said you wanted to week to week 8, so
And
let's hear it.
I'm honestly glad I said that because things started to play out like kind of what I expected or like thought could happen. And that's like I just refuse to believe Lad McConkey was just not a relevant fantasy
Hmm.
receiver.
Hmm.
And that's why I was kind of like I'm not I can't comment on this. Like all these guys could eat. I just think it just shows like but I'm not confident, but if there's a guy, it's Lad. Like that's who I'm starting on a weekly basis. I think he's absolutely like a wide receiver too, with confidence in that respect. But like, it's still like Quinn's gonna have his weeks, Keenan's gonna have his weeks. Like, it's just the Justin Herbert's such a good quarterback, he can
Yep.
find all these guys. And now we have
Now you have
Gadsden, and
Gadsden.
that adds to the problem of like it's going to contribute to some duds. Like we saw Quinn, he was the odd one
Yep.
out this week. He had
0.
0 for 0. Um, Ladd was the beneficiary of everything. Gadsden was, and then Keenan had kind of a dud if you started him. It's going to be the opposite week to week, but if there's one guy I'm confident in, it's Ladd. That's
I
my take.
I think you start Ladd, Quinton, Gadsden just about every week. I think Keenan's the odd man out at this point where I'd be more confident. And he's gonna boom. He's gonna have his booms, but I
Yeah,
think I'd be more confident sitting him than the other guys.
I
And a
agree.
lot of
I
people
agree.
are gonna go out and sit Quentin Johnston this week. I'm not one of them. I think against Tennessee, it could be a good week for him. He's also the end zone guy. He tends to be at least. So I think it's just an offense now. I think it's gotten more muddy where,
Yeah.
yeah, it does feel like Ladd is the one right now, but that's also because Quentin's missed a week and then he came back. And then, last week was nothing and Gadsden's come out of nowhere. I think it's just going to be up and down for them all the time and you have to just sit with it.
I would say like Ladd, like I wouldn't say that's the only reason like Quinn missing a week. Like Ladd put up a monster year last year as the rookie.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So like
But
that's the reason I
Quentin
trust
missing a
him.
week and then it's Ladd and Keenan during that week. Ladd comes back to life. And even before that, he was starting to. But then Gadsden comes out of nowhere,
Yeah,
and then
and
Huge
started
can't get the
killing it.
ball. So
Yeah.
there's as good as Herbert is, he can't feed 4 guys to be fantasy relevant enough. But I think he's gonna feed somebody and at least 2 every week. So it's like
Yeah,
you
yeah, for
gotta
sure.
you gotta put them in your lineup and
Hope for the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
pick
Because
pick based on each matchup. I know I read something like some betting Twitter account I follow, saying like bet Quentin Johnson like under 3.5 catches, I think it was.
this week or
Yeah, against
this
the
past week.
Vikings. And I read the little blurb and it was something to do with like the coverage they run, like 2-6 or something like that, Minnesota, and how he does very poorly against that kind of coverage. Well, it happened. So, like, if you want to do some deeper diving into the coverage that the defense is running and try and pick and choose that way, seems like that could actually work a little bit. But
Yeah,
yeah, I just let's move on. But I think this clusterfuck is just start them all because Herbert's gonna feed them. You
yeah.
just never know week to week.
It's just, but at the same time, like if you have a more consistent option, because I really do think, like,
Yeah, yeah.
in my opinion, it sounds like we might differ, but like Quinn is more of the long shot in terms of like, I feel like Keenan and Ladd are very similar in terms of like
Well, that's why I think it's
they
going to be
can,
Ladd and Keenan's getting dropped down.
yeah. Well,
So I
that
think it's going to
I
be Keenan, or sorry, Ladd, Quinton, and Gadsden now, and Keenan's kind of the
I'm
fourth.
saying from like a fantasy perspective, like I feel like you can rely on Keenan's floor of getting
That's
a
true.
certain amount of
If he gets some,
receptions
yeah.
just because he's a possession receiver, whereas
Hmm.
Quinton is like sort of a big play, deep
Hmm.
down the field guy. So like, but again, like we might need to wait till week 13 to talk about
Yeah,
this
I
again
bet.
because
We'll be talking
stuff needs
about
to
it week
play
in, week
out.
out.
But yeah, it's an interesting receiving room.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hit the next one. Um,
Somehow
I
we're
know
gonna
we're
reach
gonna
an hour 30 with
we're
6 teams on.
yeah, we're gonna reach like 2 hours again this week. The
We
next
should.
blowout, the first blowout on Sunday was the Dolphins blowing out the Falcons. The Falcons are the weirdest team in the NFL.
Yeah,
They
they
beat the
really are.
Bills and then get blown out to the Panthers and Dolphins. Anyways, Tua looked unreal against a very good
Yeah,
defense.
yeah,
We've talked
overall.
about it
Yeah.
before on the show where the Falcons like this is a really legit defense and we have to take them seriously. Well,
Hmm.
Tua said fuck you and threw for 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
Um,
With all his shut eye, or what did he have?
yeah,
Like
he had some
a
shit with his
blurry
eye. Yeah.
eye.
Achane looked solid. Waddle, awesome. Malik Washington's the next guy up too. I think we can confidently say that.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but I really think it's Achane and Waddle. Those are the guys moving forward. Start them without hesitancy. And I think we're going to just see some inconsistency with Tua. Maybe you can spot start Malik Washington.
Yeah, you pretty much hit on everything. The other thing I would just point out is Ollie Gordon. Like, I think it was got some more,
Garbage.
but
Garbage
at the
time.
same time, in the mid when it was like second quarter, he was getting short yardage work because that's really not
He
HN's
can, yeah.
specialty. I'm just saying in. in handcuff season, if you have it, it might be worthy of if you have an extra bench spot to with an HN on your team to kind
Mhm.
of protect yourself from a devastating injury. Because if he goes down, it's similar like a Tyron Tracy where Ollie Gordon's the next man up in a top 15
Yep.
play. So yeah, they're just a name to point out who had a decent week.
Yep.
Um,
For the Falcons, Kirk Chains. This is the week to show that you still got it, and he did not. Yeah, he'll never start a game in the NFL again, unless it's for another Michael Penix injury.
yeah.
Anyways, Bijan Robinson, 9 for 25. Thank you. Next, Kyle Pitts, 9 for 59. It was a good week. The disappointment though, because Drake London was out this week.
Mhm.
So you can tell that this offense needs Drake London. But you think Mooney, with the way he's played in the past, would have a good week. And what did he end up having? One
One
for
for
11 on
11.
only 4 targets. Like that's disappointing. I think Pitts, you can spot start him moving forward. I genuinely think
Oh
that.
yeah.
He continues to get volume even with London there. Bijan will be just fine. Algier even, I mean, he vultured a touchdown, but he should be like picked up, I think, in most leagues. Um, yeah, I would kind of just chalk this up to the blowout. I feel like that's going to be a common theme today, but yeah, chalk it up. They need Drake London back badly.
I think it's also a good sign of like all the questions we had about Penix and his down weeks early on. Like
Yeah,
this offense seems to run when he's running the show. Especially
better.
it runs better for
Yeah,
sure. Like I think Bijan feeds off of that type sort of
yeah,
play rather than Kirk's slower style of play,
yeah. Per-
non-mobile ability. But I think this is like you said for Kyle Pitts, this was like a big game because he struggled with Kirk. Like he couldn't
Yeah,
really,
last year,
yeah,
yeah.
he couldn't. They really never made a connection to see him like he had been having a good season to
Caught
start.
everything too.
He had
Nine
another
for
good
nine.
week, so hopefully he continues that with Penix. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good
I
point.
think he's more than a spot start, honestly. Like he's a top 12 play in my mind. But I guess that could be he's towards the end of that, but like that
Hmm.
could be still a spot start.
Yeah. Okay, this is the best game of the week,
Yeah.
believe it or not, because this was the only non-blowout, and the Jets finally get a win. They came back late and beat the Bengals. Fields was not supposed to get the start, but did.
Mm.
Looked solid.
Yeah.
Brees Hall threw a touchdown, ran for 133 yards with 2 rushing touchdowns. Unbelievable day for Brees
Yeah.
Hall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think. Isaiah Davis had a lot of receiving work too. He had 65 yards on the ground on 7 carries and 5 for 44 through the air.
Yeah.
Mason Taylor went 5 for 34 and 1 through the air. They made a lot of different guys had a catch. But Brees is the story of this, and the other story of this game I want to mention is the Bengals target them in fantasy. Their defense is terrible.
Oh yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see now that we're like 8 weeks through the season, we're like, okay, this team is good. This team is bad defense. The
Hmm.
Bengals are definitely a bad defense.
Oh yeah.
Target them, just like we want to target Dallas defense.
It's also a good matchup in terms of like their offense seems to be stabilized with
Yep.
Flacco. Like they can like maybe this was the Jets, but they can stay in games even though their defense
Yep.
is so bad. Like Flacco's gonna gunsling the thing around.
Yeah,
But
Flacco was good.
yeah, no, he looked good again.
Samaje Perine, 9 for 94 and a touchdown. What the hell? Flacco ran for a touchdown. Chase Brown, 12 for 73 and a touchdown. He looks better. He
Yeah.
also caught one, 3 for 32 and a touchdown. I still think I'm still really down on him as a whole, but I was very like anti Chase Brown even with Flacco there.
Hmm.
I don't think we need to be.
No,
I think
no.
it's clear that they're actually pretty damn good.
And
So
I would also say like it shows that the team stuck with him through those rough weeks. Like this guy was averaging 2 yards a carry like the first
mhm.
5 weeks of the season, and they
He was
kept giving him the
statistically
ball.
like the worst
Oh
running
yeah,
back in
yeah.
history on like
So the fact
55
that they
carries or
kept
something.
giving him the ball is like a good sign.
Yeah.
And then now it's starting to pay off of like this was sort of what we saw the last 10 weeks from Chase Brown last year, where he's running, catching the ball, catching touchdowns, running, rushing for touchdowns, like
Yeah.
doing it all. That was why he was one of my hot takes to finish RB1
Yeah.
overall, which looks horrible now, but like
It's a hot
that's
take for a
part,
reason.
yeah, that's part of the reason what went into that. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see him kind of like picking up steam at the right time.
I did not realize he only had 1 catch but it was a 44-yard
Yeah,
touchdown.
yep.
Wow, on two targets. Jamar Chase had 19 targets, 12 for
Holy
91. He's back
crap.
to like you can put him up at number one if you want to,
Every
like rest of the
week. Yeah.
season.
I mean,
I think JSN is in that conversation
oh yeah,
too,
for
but I
sure.
think it's probably those two
Puka
as the
too.
top two. Yeah. Um, I was listening to the Fantasy Footballers podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, we know I like them. It's inspiration for the show too. But they said, you know how many targets Jamar Chase is on pace for since being with Flacco for the last 3 weeks?
220.
308.
Holy shit. But yeah, he had like
308. He had like
26 last
23,
week.
22, and 19. Like this dude, unreal. Jamar
Yeah,
Chase is
no.
great.
And shout out Joe Flacco too for
Yeah, shout out
reviving that
Flacco.
offense
Yeah.
because that was brutal.
Yeah, for sure. Next game, another blowout. My New England Patriots, 6-2. 32-13 win over the Browns. Dylan Gabriel was okay. Judkins went down early. We talked about it. They really didn't run the ball much again.
Yeah.
Um, wow, there's some people in the room.
Very loud.
Yeah,
Bannon had a good week.
I want to talk about this. Fannin and Njoku both got in the end zone this week. They both had a good week. The New England Patriots defense is very good, except they cannot guard the tight end position.
Hmm.
I'm not sure why. Our linebackers are very good, but they cannot guard them.
Yeah.
So
This is also a very good
it's a
combination of
little
tight end.
foreshadowing for later, but
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, this is a great combination of tight ends.
And it also seems to be one that like Gabriel relies
Oh
on.
yeah.
Like he relies on the tight end
He's
position.
still going to be starting
Um,
moving forward too. They already came out and said that. So
Judy's pretty, it's clear that
Judy's
he has no
droppable,
role. Oh yeah, very much
but
droppable. But yeah, the tight ends, like I wouldn't say you feel comfortable. I would feel more comfortable starting Vannon on a weekly basis, but
yeah.
Njoku, if you're in desperate need, like I don't know.
Njoku's, yeah, yeah. I think both
But
of them, like,
yeah, no, you both can have an argument to start
yeah.
weekly.
As for the Patriots, dude, Drake May, bro, I was like, okay, through the first half, it's like, okay, maybe now that we're playing a good defense, this guy isn't, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Again, it's actually insane how good this guy looks. Um, Travion actually had 10 for 75. Don't get overhyped. He barely got on the field. He was on for like 21% of snaps, I think. It was like it's still Ramondre's backfield. Ramondre looked terrible, 14 for 34. And of course, everybody's like, oh yeah, Travion's having a great game. Well, he fumbled.
Uh,
He fumbled.
I didn't even
And
know
it's
that.
like, oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
maybe that means he'll get more work.
I just have to think like I was such a big Travion guy going into the season, obviously a my guy, but I just have to think like when you're this is now like a very legitimate playoff team. Like
That's why you
you
kind of
want
stick with what you
yeah, but at
have.
the same time like you want to have some juice going. Like you like there's no juice with Ramondre. Like
The problem is, as much as it doesn't look like it on the stat sheet, I think he's getting the job done, and they like we're analyzing from a fantasy perspective. So when they're looking at it from the NFL, like the football perspective, they like what he brings to the table more than Travion. Travion's a change of pace, a guy with juice, but they like what Ramondre brings to the table, and
I
his stats are not showing that, but they clearly see something that we can't on a stat sheet.
I guess you could say that, but I also feel like Ramondre is much easier to hide against like bad teams, like which
True,
the
yeah.
Patriots for the most part have been playing
Playing
bad
bad teams,
teams.
yeah.
I'm interested to just to see like I know their upcoming schedule isn't much harder, but
No, who
like
do they get next
I'm
week?
just curious to see
Oh,
them playing against a
Falcons.
good rushing defense and like Ramondre do nothing. Like he has never he hasn't had a big game this year. But like you said, like they're winning games, so why change make a big
Right,
change? So I
yeah.
definitely agree with that. But it's just like Travion, like he had that like I was seeing his long run of 27. I didn't know it was
It's
27, but I saw the run. It's
it's
just like he has that
yeah,
juice that just I
yeah.
feel like they I don't know. But
It's frustrating for us as like fantasy managers and people who
yeah,
believed in him for fantasy.
but if
But
they're
say
winning.
say we didn't and we were like, oh, we know Ramondre is going to be the guy. We wouldn't really be talking about it, It was just like he was a high pick in fantasy and this and that.
In the
So
draft too, I think that's the biggest piece of it.
yeah,
Like this
early
dude was an
second.
early
Yeah.
second round pick, and for running backs, that's like
Sometimes
that's
you
the
got to give it
spot you love.
time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in a dynasty perspective, like I would be
Oh
buying
yeah, I'd be
all parts of
buying. Yeah.
Travion because we've seen this happen. Like even with the Patriots, what's his name? Damian Harris, like
Hmm.
sat for a whole year with Belichick
Yep.
and then came out and had some good weeks, had a good year.
Yeah.
So Travion's a way better
Yeah,
prospect than
Vrabel.
Damian.
Wait. We
Oh, I'm
got
sorry.
some receivers to talk about. But yeah, Vrabel, like as much as I like him as a coach, he still is that ground and pound kind of
Old
like old
school
school
guy.
coach, and it's working very well. Like he knows how to translate it into the
Hmm.
modern day NFL. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it shows like for Ramondre.
Yeah.
Receiving wise, wow, Mac Hollins had a good game. Kayshon Boutte, though, they're connecting on every deep ball. He had
Yeah.
another deep touchdown, 3 for 75 and a touchdown.
Hmm.
Diggs got in the end zone his first as a Patriot, but they keep spreading the ball around. I'd be most confident with Diggs, and yeah, I think Boutte needs to be on too.
Yeah. Just to go back to Drake May for a second. I mean, I think this speaks to how good he's been is
Yeah,
like I feel like this shows good quarterback play when you involve everyone on a
yeah,
week to it
and
doesn't
and you
matter.
involve Mac Hollins
Yeah, like it
for
could be
seven
Mac
for 89.
Hollins, 7 for 89 one week, Diggs 8 for 100 the next week.
Yeah,
Like
you had
I
that
think that
crazy game
speaks to
against the
him. Like it,
Bills.
it really reminds me a lot of Josh Allen. Like of like he's using his legs the right way in smart situations, getting big chunk plays, first downs, whatever you need to do. But he's also just like, this isn't a good receiving room. Like these
Right,
aren't names that would start on a lot of other teams.
right.
Like, and so it's impressive what he's been doing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Patriots receiving room is tough to trust, but I agree. Diggs
Yeah,
would be the
Diggs. I
guy.
think Bootie's a spot start as well
Yeah,
with how
definitely could
good
be.
they've been.
Especially like bye week last week. I,
Oh
I, I
yeah,
saw a lot of
exactly.
people starting Booty in the leagues I was in.
Yeah. Next game we
So,
have the Eagles get their get back on the Giants,
you know.
38-20. Jackson Dart continues to produce for fantasy. He got in the end zone with his legs too.
Hmm.
Tyrone Tracy pick him up purely off volume. How was the receiving game? I never even looked. Yeah, there was
Nothing really.
nothing. Wandale was my start of the week. He was their most productive receiver, but their most productive receiver was bad.
Yeah.
3 for 48. So yeah, the Eagles have a good defense. We know this. They're a good team.
Hmm.
But Dart, I think, is a top 12 rest of the season for sure. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe top eight, like if
I
you want to go that far.
I really think he's starting to prove like he's matchup proof, like because
Yeah.
of that rushing
Well, we
ability.
saw it against you said that after
Denver.
Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he really is because like Eagles are a tough defense too.
Yep.
Like, but the fact that he gets in that rushing touchdown,
Yep.
it still produces like
Yep.
what did he have? Like a 20-point week,
I think
close to
something
like
like that.
18,
Yeah.
19. So yeah, he's very much matchup proof, and I would agree, top 12 start. Like you could start him with confidence.
Yep. For the Eagles, yeah, Hurts had a good day. I mean, he didn't even pass for 200 yards, but 4 touchdowns. Saquon finally looked good. He broke a big one. Um, yeah, even getting hurt, he still was great through the air too. No AJ Brown this week. Devontae Smith went 6 for 84. Goddard got in the end zone twice on 3 catches on 3 targets. So he continues to get in the end zone.
Yep.
Goddard's a weird one, man. But yeah.
He really is. Yeah, this was also an interesting one because like I feel like we've talked a lot about when we review the Eagles games of like Saquon just hasn't had a game yet. He
And
hasn't
he
had
he
that big
finally
game.
did.
And he finally broke off. He had one of those long runs that felt like he was having won a game
It was
last
over
year.
60.
Yeah, it was a 65-yard
Yeah.
touchdown run. So to see him, he did this all in like the first half,
Yeah.
basically.
He had 25 in the first
Yeah.
half, like
So like
25 fantasy points in the
I
first.
think that's a good sign for Saquon going forward. Like their offense seems to be gaining steam. Like clearly Jalen Hurts threw for 4 touchdowns. Like
Yep.
that we were all worried about. AJ Brown had a breakout
Yeah.
week last
They're
week and then he
fine.
gets hurt. I think he's a target to go out and get. I didn't put him as
AJ
my
Brown.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like just you can start investing in the passing options in this offense because they're starting to go back to what they did, what they did last year, which I don't know
Yeah.
why they changed.
Right.
So the Eagles offense is definitely looking promising from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else or
Nope. Yeah, that's a quicker game. Bills, holy blowout the Panthers,
this one
40,
should be quick.
40-9. Um,
James Cook.
yeah, Josh Allen barely threw the ball. They didn't need to because James Cook took the ball 19 times for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground with a long one too, a 64-yarder. Um, yeah, he's off. He's falling off. He's gonna touchdown regression, and I was very much in that camp too. And nope, he refuses to fall off in the touchdown department.
Well, I will say like the past 2 weeks he didn't get in the end zone and it was rough weeks from a fantasy. But
Yeah.
like you're definitely right. Like yeah, what did he have? Like 17 touchdowns last year? Like of
I
course
think he
there's
had
gonna
like 15 or
15.
16.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
of course there's gonna be some sort of regression, but he this week showed like he's still an elite
Yeah.
RB1
I'll
play.
find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still an elite RB1 play, but if he doesn't get in the end zone, it's a rough week because he doesn't really have that receiving upside like
Well,
these other.
he does. He just hasn't had it this year.
Yeah, no, he's definitely
He
capable of
had
it, but like,
16 last year. He has 7 through 8 weeks this year.
yeah, so he's on pace to like
Be around the
reach
same.
around that
Yeah.
number, but like
Crazy.
but from a game to game like perspective,
Yeah.
he's gonna have rough weeks if he doesn't get
Yep.
in the end zone. But that's rare. Like he gets in the end zone. He
Yep.
has a lot of opportunity to do so.
From a receiving standpoint, it continues to be Khalil Shakir. I think we're finally in what used to be an ambiguous receiving room. It's very clear. It's Khalil Shakir is the guy you want. 6 for 88 and a touchdown. Team high receptions, team high yardage. The only one to get a receiving touchdown and a team high in targets with 7. So
Yeah.
that's about it. I don't really want another piece from this
Yeah.
receiving room.
Even Shakir, I'm not like super excited about. Like
He's a flex week in, week out. Like I'd be confident flexing him.
really.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a flex. Like I'm not wide receiver two for me. No, like if I have a flex play and say it's between like him and I don't know, Diggs you got as another like flex option, there's gonna be weeks where I'd be pretty confident starting Shakir.
Yeah, I guess that's fair to put him in that same boat of like
Yeah,
a guy
he's
like
a flex
Diggs.
option
Yeah,
too.
no, that's fair. Yeah. Especially out of this offense, I agree
Yeah.
that I thought it was Kincaid, but he seems to just not get the volume that
Yep.
deserves that share.
Yep. For the Panthers, Dalton looked bad. They need Bryce Young back. I love saying that out loud, actually.
I mean,
They need
yeah,
Bryce
they
Young.
were 4-3 before this, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they haven't been that
Yeah, they've been quietly good.
Like
Wow, they're
they,
4-4.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Rico, he's still got the juice, 8 for 54, but Chuba got 12 for 34 and a touchdown. Um, I'm buying Rico.
yeah. And Chuba's touchdown was like maybe 2 minutes left in the game when
Yeah.
they're down 40
Yep.
points. So like that's really there's nothing to make of that. But
I'm
yeah, I
personally
agree.
buying Rico because I believe in the talent.
Yeah.
I tried to see if there was a guy in one of my leagues who's just down on him and I could trade Jamison Williams for him, who JMO hasn't been very good either. So I'm
Yeah.
not surprised it didn't go through. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking to get Rico and add him to my teams.
I think that's a good, I don't know if you put him as your buy, but that's a good like sneaky buy.
I didn't put him as my
Yeah.
buy, but it's a belief in the talent and
Yeah.
everything.
And
So
also Canales made an interesting comment of like he got at because this has been like a sort of a backfield that people have had questions about because Rico had those
he had
back
a
to back.
great response. Is this
Yeah.
like it
Well,
was a really good
yeah, he
response?
was like, well, Chuba like deserves everything. Like he earned this role,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also like Rico's been killing it. Like you
Yeah.
can't ignore
Yep.
that. So like
Yep.
I think like that shows he's not kicking either of them to the side. But like you said, like Rico just keeps doing it.
Rico's
And
so good,
like
man.
back-to-back 200-yard games doesn't happen. Like
Eight for
that
54 is 6.8
yeah,
a pop.
in
Like,
a 31-point blowout
yeah,
and on the ground you're doing that. So
yeah.
I like that as a sneaky buy of like
He's a buy because I believe in the talent.
and then of course
So
if anything were to happen to Hubbard,
yeah.
like immediate top 12 play
Who's a guy you would trade one for one? Would you trade Mason 1 for 1?
for Dowdle.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like in a I probably would. Like I'm very I don't like Mason. I'm like pretty off
Hmm.
on him. I probably would like
Would
to
you
take the
would you
shot.
trade a guy like Aaron Jones for Rico?
Yeah, I
Would
would.
you trade a guy like, let's see, pretend Isaiah Pacheco's not week to week. Would you trade Pacheco for him?
Yes.
Would you trade, let's see, how high would you go is now the question. Like,
Yeah, I mean, let me see. Let me
would
pull
you
up the
would you
rankings.
trade Ken Walker or Zach Charbonnet?
I that's a it's crazy because like I hear Ken Walker, I'm like, oh, he's really good,
Yeah,
but
click PPR.
he's not
Click
been.
PPR.
Where's that at?
It's scoring.
Oh yeah,
So this is for the week, but I think it's still fine to go
yeah.
off of here.
All right, let's so like
So Rico, yeah, would you trade Dobbins for Rico? I don't think I'd trade
I
Dobbins
wouldn't.
personally.
I would.
Tracy, I would trade Tracy.
Yeah, I feel like that's a. I feel like it's a wait. You wait a week, but you could also
Yeah,
kill Tracy's value by waiting
yeah.
a week.
I don't know if I'd trade ETN personally.
Kamara, probably not,
No, I'd keep Kamara.
but like
I
he's
think
been
Kamara's a
bad
buy
too.
low. Montgomery, I would trade for Rico. Bam
Similar
Knight, I'd trade for
situation. Yeah.
Rico. I
Ramondre.
don't know if I would trade Ramondre just because of the work in a good offense.
I thought that was my phone. I
Sorry.
know you're good. I probably would trade Ramondre for Rico. I feel like it's
It's
similar.
not bad. If you could trade Woody Marks for Rico, would you do that?
I wouldn't. I'm a Woody
I
guy.
like Woody. I like,
I also believe in the upside with Woody, where like he's getting more snap, he's getting more
yeah,
rushes,
you
he's
got a
kind of
lot of
starting to
receiving
take
work.
over
Yeah.
that role completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll
All
get
right.
back
Yeah.
to
Let's go back to the game. We got a little off there.
a little would you
Tet got a lot of
rather?
volume. That's it for the receiving
Oh
core
yeah,
there.
and that's good to see with especially with a QB like
Yep.
Dalton. Like he's
7 for
matchup
99 on
proof,
10
QB
targets.
proof. He's a
Yep.
beast.
Yeah, Bears Ravens. Ravens without Lamar, which was weird because they had that whole like blunder. Caleb Williams did not look very good again. Is this 3 straight weeks for him where he's looked pretty mid? Um, I think you can pull up the game again. I'll pull up his fantasy stats, but I think that's 3 straight weeks for him where he has not
Yeah, I
been.
mean he had
Yeah,
252 and a
two
touchdown
straight
against
weeks.
Washington, but
Yeah.
yeah, two straight for
Washington, he
sure.
was good, but even the week before the bye, in
Week
week
12,
4, he
yeah.
wasn't very good. So he gets a soft matchup with the
And
Bengals
I'm
this
pretty
week.
sure
But
we definitely voiced him being a buy, or I mean a sell after
I,
his 4 touchdown game,
yeah, I
which
know
like
you
since
did. I
then,
know you did.
but I th you were definitely in a agreement,
I
but
think I think I was in agreement that you could sell him, but I believed a little bit more that this
I
might be a
gotcha.
year.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's definitely fair
But
based on
no.
the way he was playing.
Swift continues to produce on the ground. He was good. Mononga's getting carries, but he didn't do anything with them this week. Roma Dunze is back. It was a good game for him.
Yo.
And yeah, I mean, DJ Moore's the second option. Colson Loveland did nothing without Komet, so I think it's a little concerning for him for this season alone.
I just think he does look good. Like he looks like a capable
He is
like
capable.
not from a tight end perspective, it's not one of those just like bricks for feet tight ends that like just catch the ball and drop. Like he's run after the catch capable. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll hint like this. I'm predicting a I I'll get to it in my starts,
You could pick him up if you wanted to.
but yeah, I'll talk more about it.
As for the Ravens, Derrick Henry was good again. 21 for 71, 2 touchdowns. So yeah, Zay Flowers, 7 for 63 through the air. The
Yo.
tight ends did nothing. So we'll see when Lamar comes back. Maybe likely and Mark Andrews can be better. But yeah, that's the Ravens for you.
Yeah, I just to touch on Henry, like I feel like the buy window is definitely over. Like
I think
the
so.
fact that he had a week like he normally does with Huntley, and then Lamar comes back, and we all know how those two play off of each other and work well together.
Yep.
So like I got Henry. It was in a dynasty league, but like
Yep.
from a redraft league, I would definitely want him too.
Yeah, I
So
was saying buy Henry a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
I mentioned him twice actually. 2 weeks in a row, I think,
it
and it
was
was when he was
definitely
definitely down,
a
and you're
good
like, I
buy.
don't believe in the
Yeah,
Ravens.
I really
And
didn't.
that's where I am. I do believe in the Ravens. So
I still
we'll
don't
see.
believe in the Ravens, but like he's kind of proven that like listen, they're gonna give him the ball, he's gonna
Well, they
score
won this game.
touchdowns. Yeah, but
You
like
win the game, he's gonna get the ball.
their defense is still so bad. And
Yeah,
like
it
it did
is.
look good against the Bears. Like Caleb
The
didn't.
team's gonna be better now. They're getting
Oh
Lamar
yeah, for
back
sure,
too.
for
I
sure.
think they're getting Roquan back soon.
This was definitely a massive win for like their season
Yeah,
expectations because what that was their second win, right? They were
I
one and
think.
six
I think
before. So
something
now
like
they're two
that.
and six, two and
They get
five.
the Dolphins
They
this
had a
week
bye
too on
already.
Thursday, which is a
So
soft matchup.
they could definitely get going, but like it's a tall hill to climb for them.
Houston are now 3-4 after this win. They beat up on the 49ers 26-15. Mac did not look too good. It was a decent day for fantasy. McCaffrey, 8 for 25 on the ground. What do you do through the air? 3 for 43 on 6 targets. Kittle got in the end zone,
Yep.
4 for 43 and a touchdown. Juwan Jennings, 4 for 45 on 7 targets. I think those are kind of your guys right now. Like I would think consider starting Jennings in good matchups. Kittle, I'm starting regardless. McCaffrey, I'm starting regardless. That's kind of it for the offense. I think we really need to talk about Houston's defense, though. I'm scared of that defense. They're
Yeah,
really, really good. Like legit, I think they're statistically the best, if not one of the best in the league.
and I think it's funny that like people kind of forgot about that because them making the playoffs the past 2 years has been because of their
Yeah,
defense. Like that's what's gotten them there. CJ Stroud's been good. He's a good game manager in terms of like helping a team win a game off of good defense, but it's been because of their defense.
Well, their offense was just more exciting with
Yeah.
Diggs, Nico
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
Collins,
sure.
Tank Dell. So now, like, you
Hmm.
lose two of those guys, the offense looks a lot worse. The
They're
offensive line's awful.
here though.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that being said, like, I think it was the first 3 weeks of the season, they're the first team to ever start like 0-3 with allowing like 10 or less points or something like
Really?
that.
Wow.
Like something crazy.
Yeah. No, definitely a good
But
defense.
yeah, Stroud was okay. Woody Marks getting a little more work. Nick Chubb still led the work, but yeah, it's nice to see Woody get a lot of the receiving work again too, 4 for 49 through the air. But yeah, as you said, the rookies, Jalen Noel, 5 for 63. He looked good. Jaden Higgins, 4 for 34 and a touchdown. What is that? 8 targets? Damn.
Yeah. Eight
Yeah.
targets.
So there was no Nico this week, right? So the ball had to go elsewhere. Xavier Hutchinson, he's not a rookie, is he? I don't think so.
No, he was a
But yeah,
rookie.
5 for 69 and a touchdown. Like they're gonna spread the ball around. I thought Jalen Noel looked good though out the
Yeah.
slot. I thought Jaden Higgins held his own. So
And Stroud's looked good too. Like it
yeah,
started like that was his staple his rookie year, but like I think he almost threw for 5,000 yards, but like he was just throwing for 300 yards a game and like throwing the deep ball. So I think it's exciting to see him kind of get going. I don't trust it fully, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm super excited about
Hopefully they
Woody.
can get it going for Nico too. I have him in a league,
Yeah, I
so
think it will. But
yeah,
Woody, I think it's
yeah.
exciting that like
Woody, the receiving work
if it's
specifically.
yeah, especially like becoming the third down back of like any role where like it's 2nd and 9 even like Chubb's not on the field like 2nd and 8 Chubb has no use unless like it's basically when Chubb's on the field he's getting the ball
Yep.
like you know what I mean like so I think that's works in Woody's favor of like these rookie running backs that start to get involved in the passing game then more in the running game and then it's everything like that I think that could be the case for Woody
Yep.
so
Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of need some juice there. Like
that's
Chubb is just not. Yeah,
I know. See, that's what it like, imagine
that's
the Patriots were
yeah, but
3-4, then the
yeah,
juice
yeah,
could
yeah.
come.
Then they bring in
But you
Travion,
just
but
can't wait for the juice to happen. You
yeah,
gotta drink the juice early on.
yeah. I don't know.
It's so
Bucks Saints. I don't think anything happened for fantasy. Like genuinely, it
yeah,
was a bad game for
a defensive touchdown.
Baker. It was a bad game for Rashad White. It was a bad game for Egbuka.
Yeah.
It was a bad game for all of them. Tez Johnson had 9 points, but yeah, Sean Tucker stole a touchdown. Here's the thing. Chalk it up, move on. They're going on to bye. They need it. They need to get healthy.
And Bucky.
Yeah, Bucky hopefully will be back. Maybe
Yep.
Godwin even they could use it. I don't have anything else to say on that. Just a rough game overall for fantasy.
Yeah, I agree. When especially with guys like Igbuka, like
Yeah.
with Evans being on
Ibuka will be fine. He
IR.
had 9 targets.
Yeah, and
He had
also
three of
just
them.
the outlook of like Evans being on IR,
Yep.
Godwin's still like recovering. He didn't even play this
Bye.
week.
Bye, Ibuka.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He
So
might be
he
my buy of the week.
yeah, but I have nothing else to add to
Yeah, the
that.
Saints, they transitioned over to Tyler Shuck. Kamara really didn't get a lot of work. Um,
How much of these targets were
yeah,
oh wow, so Tyler Shough played a majority of the
he
game.
played, it was about 50-50, I think.
Okay, so that's good to see Rashid like him still
Shaheed,
throwing the
9 for
ball.
75 on 12 targets, and Olave, 8 for 63 on 12 targets. Juwan went 5 for 53 on 8 targets. Like, it seems like this offense can still function.
Yeah,
I still think it's an overall downgrade.
I would agree.
I forget who they're playing next week, unless they go on bye. They might be going on bye.
Uh, I don't think so. I think they have a game.
All right, well, I'll find out as we're doing that.
But I'll just move on to the next game, or you have anything
Yeah,
to
I
add?
think the Saints like they get the Ram like it's a brutal matchup against the Rams. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
the
that
Rams
is
are coming off fresh from bye too. I just
their defense is pretty solid. They're just a good team overall. Like
yeah,
they're tough to match up for anyone.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even Kamara, like,
I'd maybe be a little patient, but you can start Olave.
yeah.
Rashid Shaheed and Juwan Johnson, I'd want to see it
What
first.
about Kamara? Like, I'm in a boat where like I don't know if I could start him. Like
I probably
with
wouldn't.
depth,
That their running defense, LA is really
but
good.
just in
So
general, like Kamara, like just
I don't, yeah,
hasn't done it this year.
no.
Um, So I get he's a wait and see. Like you can't drop Kamara.
Yeah.
I think just
Do you
because
go, do you buy him? Do you sell him? Do you hold him? What do you
I
do?
I really I would just hold.
I
Like
think
I
so.
feel like he has no value and I really have no interest in like chase because he's been adamant about not wanting a trade. So like you can throw that out the window that his situation improves.
Yeah.
But
Maybe they do it anyways.
yeah, they could. I feel like that stuff's definitely happened.
Yeah.
Like he
Yep.
could just be blowing smoke, but
Yep. Broncos blow out the Cowboys. Dak, it was a rough game. This is a great defense, though.
you know,
Javante got in the end zone twice, so he had a pretty solid day. CD was okay. Pickens was okay. Nice nothing burger for Ferg. But yeah, I mean, regardless, even with a tough defense, Pickens and Lamb got 7 receptions each
you
on 10 targets for CD and 9 for Pickens. So I think
yep.
both of these guys are startable rest of the season easily,
Oh
easily.
yeah.
Pickens is still, I think, wide receiver 3 overall in
Yeah,
fantasy.
he's
So
impressed me. I was like pretty vocal about like
yeah,
I think
yeah,
he's a sell. I
yep.
but like he's proven that like
He doesn't need to
he
be.
can pace CD Lamb and like maybe Lamb will have big games, but he's very capable of having a big game with Lamb in the lineup. So,
Hmm.
but I think there also will be weeks like for example, Ferguson has been killing it
Yeah,
target wise,
yeah.
reception
I
wise.
still think Ferg is third.
Yeah, and I think that's the case, but I also think there could be a week where like I don't see a week where Lamb is ever like the odd
Yeah,
guy
no,
out,
I don't see
but
that
I
either.
think it goes between Pickens and Ferg. Like I would agree Ferg is third, but like I think there could be
There could
generally be
be.
a week
I
where
think Pickens is still going to get like 10 points though,
oh yeah,
which is
and
crazy
you but
with
I'm not
my
saying you don't start
yeah,
Pickens.
you
Like
start
you
Pickens
start
week
him
in,
every
week
week.
out.
He's
Yeah.
deserved that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those two are like kind of the ones that will battle like could have off
Could
weeks.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo was good. J.K. Dobbins was good, 15 for 111. R.J. Harvey, 7 for 46, 2 touchdowns. He also had a receiving touchdown. Um, Scroll down to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 for 5 and a touchdown. So he had he had a hat trick. Troy Franklin, 6 for 89 and 2. Sutton, wish he did more, 4 for 67. But this just keep targeting the Cowboys defense. Like
Yeah.
everybody worked in this one. Bo
Yeah.
looked good. Dobbins didn't get in the end zone, but looked good. RJ Harvey had 3 touchdowns. Troy Franklin worked. Sutton, he looked good, even though he didn't get in the end zone. So like just keep
Mhm.
targeting this defense.
Yeah, it's tough because RJ Harvey was a my guy this year for me. You think that like the guy has 3 touchdowns. I'd be so hyped. I feel like this is the most least hyped I've ever been for a guy that I was like big on having 3 touchdowns. Like the fact that he did that with 3 touchdowns, I mean, I think part of it played of like the blowout,
Yeah.
but Jake Adams still had 15 for 111. He just continues to be
Yeah.
efficient. He's gonna have a role in this offense. So like Harvey's just a tough guy to like buy into fully right now because he had 3 touchdowns. Like hopefully his role's been increasing every
A
week.
lot
He
of
has
people
a
want
role.
him right now, though. Do
I
you have him? Well,
yeah, we'll get
yeah.
into it, but it's just so I'm pissed that I'm so unexcited about such a
Yeah.
breakout game that like, but it I don't know. It's kind of means doesn't change the script for me on him.
Yeah. Colts Titans. Colts blow them out. The Titans they're so bad. Cam Ward is just not very good. Tajay Spears outproduced Pollard this week, but it was another pretty close 50-50 split. Um, yeah, Chimere Dike, I was very off of him last week,
Hmm.
and he had 8 targets again, second straight week, 7 for 93. He
Yeah.
produced. It's a name to watch. I'd pick him up actually. I said it's smoke, don't pick him up, but I think he's worth a pickup and a stash right now because they need something. This
Yeah.
this offense is
And they're
atrocious.
gonna be throwing the ball. Like
Yeah,
they need to
yeah,
try and stay
yeah.
competitive in a
This
game.
team
But
sucks.
yeah,
They'll get the
really pretty
number one
much
pick, I
irrelevant.
think.
Spears is someone like if he didn't get picked up last week, like
Yeah, I mean he had receiving work too this week. He had 17 fantasy points.
yeah, so he had a good week,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Indy, Daniel Jones continues to work. He's the QB4 on the season, which is awesome. Jonathan Taylor, though, he had a hat trick, 12 for 153 on the ground,
Third hat trick in a row.
2 touchdowns, 2 for 21 and 1 through the air. This dude has had over 30 points in 3 of the last 4 games.
Oh yeah.
And the fourth was like 20 something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Jonathan Taylor looks like the number one pick in fantasy right now. He looks
Oh, for
unreal. The
sure.
competent QB, and all of a sudden this offense is lying.
Yeah. No, three straight,
7 and
three
1.
three straight 3 touchdown games. This
Yep.
Colts team is like it's a perfect scenario for fantasy because like they're not only good, but they rely on him clearly to like
Yep.
take them to these blowout wins. I mean, also, but like Jonathan Taylor's been so good, but Pittman has
Pittman,
been such
what
a
was that? 8 for 95 and a touchdown.
such a consistent
I'm
play.
pretty sure. Last I checked, he's the wide receiver 6 on the
Are you
year.
serious? That
Let's
let me
let's
see his
let's double check.
stat line
Let's double
because
check because
he
I'm
has
I'm
six
pretty sure
touchdowns, receiving touchdowns.
Pittman is the wide receiver 6 on the year.
Wow,
20, I'll read his
good for
fantasy
him.
points. 28, 19, 15, 14, 4, 20, 23.
Wow,
He has looked good.
yeah, really good.
Daniel Jones has produced, so he was the right pick over Downs. I was not in that boat, but oh well.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people were in the Downs
yeah.
boat.
Downs scored again though, and Warren's continuing to do pretty solid.
Yeah.
So
If that's a down week, like for Warren,
4 for
that's a great
53.
week.
Yeah,
Like for 9 points as your down week as a tight end,
yeah.
you'll take that. So, but yeah, the
Agreed.
Colts are a wagon. Like
Yeah,
they're a team
seven
that
and one.
like you can't,
I'm
it's not a
waiting for them
joke
to play a
anymore.
good team too,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
So them and the Patriots both look really good,
Again.
but they
Yeah.
both, come playoffs, it's like how well will that keep up? What do you do when you play the Chiefs? I think the Chiefs win both of those easily. So
Yeah. Oh, wait, the Colts aren't in the AFC West, are they?
they're in the AFC.
No, what? Oh, you mean
I'm saying in playoffs,
oh,
or if
playoffs.
they were to
Gotcha.
play each other, yeah.
Yeah.
Packers Sunday Night Football. They beat the Steelers. Jordan Love looked good,
This
dude.
one felt good.
Jordan Love looked good.
Rodgers coming back, beat him
Tucker
down.
Kraft, 7 for 143 and
Yeah.
two on 9 targets. This dude is up to the tight end 2 on the year.
Yeah.
Um,
I think like we were pretty spot on with this one. Like I mentioned like at the beginning of the year of Tucker Kraft could very much
be
be
the
the
one.
number one receiving
Yep.
option on the Packers. And
Yep.
I think
He
like
is.
that's safe to say like that he is now.
He's
Like
also ridiculous after the catch.
oh yeah.
Ridiculous after the
He's
catch.
really like a Kittle. Like he's like a
Yeah, he
Kittle,
is.
that kind of build
He's
of
Kittle light. He's the
um
new age Kittle.
but yeah, on National Tight End, the day after National Tight End Day, he
Yeah.
felt a little left out.
No, it
So
was National Tight End Day. It was Sunday
oh, it
night.
was Sunday
Yeah,
night.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Sunday night.
So yeah, National Tight End Day, he
Way
showed
to
up.
cap it off.
Yeah,
Way to
yeah,
cap it off.
yeah. So that was a great week.
What do you do as a Packers fan? Josh Jacobs had 13 for 33 and a touchdown. Emmanuel Wilson had 11 for 61. What do you think that chalks up to? Because I have my opinion, but as a
Yeah.
Packers fan, I want
I
to
mean,
hear.
having watched the whole game in a majority of Packers games, I'm not, I wouldn't be worried as a Jacobs owner. He's gonna have, he's the touchdown guy for sure. I think Emmanuel Wilson has just turned into like a really good change of pace NFL back of like,
Mm.
he's just consistent, he's efficient. And also the game, like it was 35-25. You could they scored a last minute touchdown in the last minute, so it was really like 35-18 that whole last part of the year or part
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
So it was a blowout, you could say, in the second half.
Yeah,
So
specifically in
I
this.
think that played a role into him getting a lot of work, but Jacobs is absolutely the guy. He's a touchdown machine. In my opinion, I'm not worried
I think this is a good opportunity to buy low if people are.
on Jacobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think he's still very capable to be a 3 down workhorse. I think he will be. I think the reason they started working Wilson is because they were up,
Yeah.
and because I think they're also they know Jacobs is banged up, so
Yeah.
they're like,
They're in it for the
we
long
don't,
run
yeah, we
too.
don't need to put
Five
him in
and
for everything.
they
So
I will also just shout out Jordan. I mean, Jordan Love looked incredible.
Jordan
Like
Love looked great.
and this is the part of the year where like the past 2 seasons he starts to heat up at this time. Like I know,
He's a great spot start. I called it earlier against the
yeah,
Cowboys, start him, and he was a great start that week. The Steelers are another really bad defense against QBs. So little foreshadowing there. We'll leave it there. But
I might have to. I feel like we're gonna disagree with later on, but
all right.
but we'll get to that.
Oh, wait, did we talk about the Steelers?
Oh no, sorry. No, fuck the Steelers, just the
The
Packers.
Steelers, Jalen Warren, um, yeah, Jalen Warren was okay.
Yeah, 13.
13 for 62.
Not much
Rogers was
receiving, but
mid. Yeah. I mean, Metcalf got in the end zone again, though. 5 for 55 and a
yeah,
touchdown. How many targets this week?
7.
7. Yeah, he's been solid. I was definitely off thinking he's touchdown dependent. Targets aren't there, but he's picked it up. The rapport is starting to get built for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, Metcalf feels good moving forward.
Yeah, I called Rodgers a sit of the week this past week. I think you kind of gave that to me as like, yeah, a hit.
He had
But
16 points. Is that
yeah,
really a hit?
I don't know. I feel like it's in the
Is
middle of
that
like
really
it's not
like
a bust. Like it's not
for
like
a QB?
I guess so. You know,
We should we
but
should
I'm just saying
we
like
should start putting like a line like where's the bust? Where's
yeah, we
the
should. But even though this win felt good, Rodgers didn't like really show up.
no.
He's been like a
He's
consistent,
been
like he can
solid.
support a guy like DK Metcalf. He can support an offense.
Yep.
And like it's crazy to say, but he's not, I wouldn't feel like horrible starting him on like I feel like
In the
we're getting
right
past the
game,
bye
in
week,
the
like
right
met
game.
like bye week misery, but I don't know. I've just been impressed by like the dude's 40
Uh,
years old and you can still support.
some live news. Malik Neighbors had his surgery today and should be ready to go heading into next year.
Should be ready to go by fantasy playoffs.
By next year.
I wish it said that.
But yeah, all right. No other live. I want to check live news because there have been multiple shows where we've gotten off, and I'm like, oh, that happened mid-show where we could have brought it up.
Yeah, Bruce Hull, trade to the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs beat the Commanders, beat down Mariota. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. We've seen worse. Mariota is a solid backup. As for running, Bill Krosky. He gets to work, but 9 for 25. Brutal matchup. He was your sit of the week. Great call. Um, Terry McLaurin got in the end zone. Welcome back, but he got hurt again. Debo did nothing. This is just a tough matchup. The Chiefs, we know this. Debo was my sit of the week. I hit on that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a tough matchup, the Chiefs. And, Terry, it was nice to see, but who knows if he's back yet. So,
Yeah. And also, I feel like it's a similar situation with the Ravens, where like when Jaden comes back, this offense just runs
yeah,
differently.
this offense will
Like
run a lot
they're
better.
most likely maybe not winning this game, but they're not getting killed by 20
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. But
So
they need Jaden. They're 3-5. They need to
yeah,
start winning
it's a,
games.
yeah. So I think Jaden comes back
The
changes.
Chiefs look really Patrick Mahomes,
It's
man.
scary hours. Like
He's
the
so
Chiefs are
good.
back. Like
Yeah,
they're just starting to
they
dominate
should be
people.
the far and away favorites to win the bowl again.
I would agree. Yeah.
Pacheco got most of the work. Kareem Hunt ended up getting a touchdown, but nothing special there. As for receiving, Worthy, we were talking about this right before the pod. I think Worthy has a pretty nice floor of like 10 PPR points a game. And I think he's been solid. It's like it's not enticing because Rice is there, because Kelsey's in there, but the way Mahomes is throwing the ball, yeah, maybe you only get 10 points a lot of weeks, but I guarantee you there's going to be a deep bomb
When
one
he
of those
catches the
weeks and he's going to
touchdown.
get a 28-point week.
Yeah.
So it's like Worthy, I think, is actually a pretty solid option. I think I'm
Yeah.
a lot higher than the rest of the community right now. But
Yeah, I would say I'm not like comfortable with 10 points being his floor. Like, but it is
it
around
has been
it
even
is
even with Rice
around
back.
there. I just like but like you said, like if in a like flex play, you can play that kind of risk of like catching a touchdown. And it like we've seen him beat work in this offense. We
Yeah.
just haven't really seen it with Rasheed. So like now it's
Yep.
pretty clear that Rasheed
Or
is
she's the one. Yeah.
Rasheed's the guy like we all kind of anticipated.
Yeah.
But so
He's
he was
unreal.
very much worth the
Nine for
wait.
93
Very
and a
much worth the
touchdown.
wait.
Yeah. What do you have? Like 23 points again
Yeah,
this week?
23 fantasy
I thought there was
points.
a slight chance I'd win in our league because I had Mariota and Worthy, and the other guy had Bill, Ertz, a kicker,
And
and Rice. And
okay.
it was close the majority of the game until he got that touchdown because
Mhm.
we were about tied heading into Monday night.
Yeah.
And it was close until, yeah, Rice got the touchdown. I was like, all right, that's
Yeah.
over.
He's a
But
monster.
yeah, Kelsey looked vintage
Yeah.
again, 6 for
Kelsey's
99 and a
been good
touchdown. Yeah,
again this year. I
he's
feel
been
like he was
solid.
kind of an underrated play,
He's been
like
solid.
that underrated pick going
Not
into this
super
year.
exciting, but he's
No,
been
but for a
solid.
tight end position, that's pretty. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the recap. Let's get into waivers and we'll keep moving along. So waivers this week, we'll start with the running back position. Priority out of the week is Tyrone Tracy. Um, I'd consider Kareem Hunt, Brashard Smith with Pacheco week to week. Kyle Mononga, I think still needs to be owned because he's getting work with Swift even after a down week. Tank Bigsby, if anything's to happen to Saquon, if he's to miss time. I think Dylan Sampson, if Judkins is to miss time. Tyler Algier, great stash. Isaiah Davis, he had a great day for fantasy, even with Brees there. And if Brees gets traded, yeah, please get him before the deadline, which I believe is next week. So
For
I
trade
think,
deadline,
yeah.
yeah. But that does differ across like fantasy leagues sometimes.
No, the NFL trade deadline.
No, I know, but Um, oh, okay.
I'm
I thought
saying
you were
Brees,
somewhere
if
else.
Brees gets traded.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Bam Knight, I think, yeah, they just cut Michael Carter. So yeah, Bam Knight, grab him. Spears, I think, is worth owning too. That's your running backs this week. Priority, Tracy. As receiver, there's Kayshon Boutte, who I like. I think he's flexible on occasion. Tez Johnson, I think he had a solid week too. I think he's worth picking up. Darnell Mooney, I know it was a down week, but I'd pick him up. Troy Franklin looked great. Alec Pierce, I think, is worth owning, honestly, with the way the Colts have been running. Chimere Dike, we talked about. I think he's worth picking up at this point. Jalen Coker's a stash too. Priority pickup, probably Booty. Probably Booty. I don't even think we need to say a priority at receiver though. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I know last week I had like three priority guys, and I don't think there was a receiver.
You
Um,
running backs tend to be like the priority to begin with.
Yep. At quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, definitely pick him up off by Sam Darnold off by Flacco's looked great too. So Flacco's worth also picking up. I think the Bengals are going on to buy, right?
I
The
don't.
Bengals. I don't know. Look up who's on buy while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Flacco, as long as he's not going on to buy week for week 9, I think he's worth picking up. It's the
Browns, Jets,
Browns.
Eagles, Bucks.
Browns, Jets, Eagles, Bucks. Okay. So he's
But
not
not the
going on to
Bills.
buy. So yeah, I think he's worth picking up then. And then at tight end, Mason Taylor, think he's worth picking up. Cade Otton, Isaiah Likely, I'm still in on with pick worth a pickup, and you can drop him if 1 week with Lamar nothing
Yeah,
happens. You
yeah,
can just drop him. Juwan Johnson, he was good. And then AJ Barner, I think he's still find a stash again, see if he does anything off buy and then drop if nothing. But priority pickup of the week, I don't think anybody's a priority except for Ty Tracy. So I don't know
yeah.
if you have anything
I'd
about
agree.
priority.
Yeah,
All right.
no, definitely try Tracy.
Droppable guys. I have some controversial ones this week. Starting with the non-controversial ones, drop Mac Jones. Purdy should be back sooner than later. You got Spencer Rattler. He just lost his
You
job.
shouldn't have been starting
Yeah,
them.
Darren Waller. we're- This was before we knew last week, but he hit IR, so you can drop Waller. I think Kendrick Bourne is droppable, right? We talked about with Kittle back and then Juwan Jennings being back. I think Bourne's droppable. Judy's droppable. He had nothing this week, and he's clearly not a focal point of the offense. Keon Coleman, I think he hasn't produced since that week 1 huge game. So I
Mhm.
think you could drop Keon. Tony Pollard, we talked about it. Like it feels like Spears is taking over a little bit more of the lead role.
Yep.
And just being on the Titans, I think you could be fine dropping Pollard. I mean, he's getting work. He's still producing, but it's a floor and a ceiling are within like 4 points of each other. So it's
Yep.
like you could drop him if you want to. And then oh, you added Mooney. So
Oh, I
I
didn't even do
I
that.
said you could pick up Mooney, but yeah, you could also drop
Oh,
Mooney.
I didn't add
Oh shit. All right. Well, he's
that.
an add in. Would you drop or add Mooney? Let's go there.
I feel like he's in waiver territory. So
Yeah.
like I if you need a receiver, you
You could
could,
pick him up
but
if you
at the
want
same
to.
time, if not,
You could also
I
drop
would
him.
feel
Yeah.
comfortable dropping.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. All right. Let's hit trade targets. Last week, it like I said to buy Caleb, I think he's still a buy. Kamara still a buy. London still a buy. Mason Taylor, I think, was a perfect time to say that. Sell Rogers, I think, was good. I said to sell Pat Freiermuth. I think that was good. Swift just continues to produce. I think you could sell him. This was another easy matchup. DK, Chamiri DK, I mean, I said to sell him. I don't know. He looks kind of good.
Yeah.
So it was an all right day for me with trades last week. You said buy Jaden Daniels. Yeah. Buy
I got this
Brees.
last
Yeah,
week.
Brees was a big hit. Waddle, I think you hit on that. Kincaid, nah, he wasn't that good.
Nope.
Sell Flacco. Flacco's been producing.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason was a great call. Addison and Hawkinson, I think all the Vikings were a great call. So overall, pretty good.
Those are
Vinny
some
definitely had
wild
some better
start
takes than
or
me,
those are
but
some wild trade darts on my
what,
end.
Brees?
Just the whole
The
Vikings
whole
roster.
Vikings, and
You
you hit
texted me
on it.
about that. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I got lucky 1 week, but
Yeah.
that's crazy.
All right, let's hit the trade targets for this week. So starting at the quarterback, I have three guys. My favorite one though is Baker. I think Baker, that's two straight down weeks in a row. I think there's a lot to come. They're hitting the bye. They're going to be healthier coming back afterwards. I like Baker. I think this is a perfect time to buy. I think Dak you could buy too, the down week against Denver, but they've had an easy schedule up until Denver. They hit a
Mhm.
hard defense. He has a bad game. They have a harder
Yeah.
defense moving forward. So I wouldn't spend a lot for Dak. And then my last one I want to bring up is Purdy. I think Purdy, they have a pretty nice rest of season schedule. And Purdy, in his two healthy starts this season, has had 17 points. So if he's to come back and be healthy rest of the
Yeah.
season, like you could probably get him really cheap too.
Yeah, I
So
like
I
that
th
one.
I think Purdy's a good buy right now for long term.
Yeah. So I honestly, I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels again this week, just because of the fact I don't know how you
I
explained it or
like
if you
it.
did last week at all, because I guess I had him as my buy last week too. But it's just I feel like owners of Jaden Daniels don't forget that he's injured. Like they're waiting for him to come back. But I feel like if you could just like take advantage of this dude hasn't put up a 25-point game in like 4 weeks,
Yeah.
it's easy to kind of lose value through that time. So if you could get Jaden Daniels for a reduced price, it's still going to be expensive. But like this is a guy that is like we talked about with Dart, beyond
So
the
good.
definition of matchup proof. Like
Yeah.
this guy will get you 20 points in his sleep. So if
Mhm.
you can go out and get him for a reduced price because he hasn't done it the past 4 weeks, then go do it.
Yeah, I think Jalen Warren's my buy at running back. He's looked solid. He's getting the work. We saw it beginning of the year before he got hurt. Now they're past their bye week too, the Steelers, and they had a tough matchup. He was my sit of the week last week because they had a tough matchup against the Packers.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like Warren as a buy. I wouldn't go spend everything on him, but yeah, I think you could get Warren for fairly cheap, and I would if you could.
He's such a weird one for me of just like I would call him a buy, you would call him like I don't know what to call him. Just because
He's an easy
he's
buy.
a put in I put him in the same boat as like Swift where like
Mm.
my none guys behind Swift, Gainwell's had good games when Swift or Warren's been out. So I just feel like the snap of a finger, it could be one game. It's like, well, Gainwell had I don't know. We don't need to get too into it, but it's
Yeah,
just such a weird like
I'm gonna be
I
sending
have
him offers for Jalen
I
Warren.
have Warren in multiple leagues and I've enjoyed having him.
Yeah,
Like he's a good start, but I would agree either way. I don't know. He's a weird one. So oh no,
your buy.
bye.
Yeah,
Woody Marks is mine. We talked about him. Uh, Opportunity's been going up. Love the third down roll opportunity.
receiving work.
And he's really yet to have like a massive breakout game. I guess he had one when they were like blowing out a team and he had like a couple touchdowns, but I just really think like you could still get him at a really good price for like what could be in my mind a league winner down the road.
hmm Yeah, my buy at receiver, I already said it. It's like Buka. I think just 12 and 9 targets the last 2 weeks without producing it
Yeah.
into anything. He's going to be just fine. He's the
Oh,
wide receiver one in that offense rest of the season. Baker's been a little down the last 2 weeks. They get a bye week at the right time. I think Buka's going to be great moving forward, and this is the cheapest you'll get him all season.
yeah. I like that one too. Yeah, my buy at receiver is Nico Collins.
Like that.
I just feel like we're starting to see Stroud sling the ball around a little more like we've been used to the past couple of years. Obviously, it's Nico Collins. He's the one there when he does get back. So I think they have a tough matchup. Yeah, they played Denver this week. So I think you could
Without
wait
Sutton
or
or
Surtain
with Sertan, yeah.
or
Sorry.
with or without.
Without
Without.
Sertan.
Okay.
Sertan's out the next 4 to 6 weeks. So
Okay.
Nico actually will have a
So
softer
that
matchup.
yeah, so I think you could even wait one more week to go by,
I'd go get him
but
now.
yeah, you could
Yeah.
go get him now. And I would suggest go getting him now, but if you want to play matchups, you could.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nico for sure.
Yeah, my buy at tight end is Kittle. I think Kittle is going to have a great rest of the season. He's kind of the guy there along with McCaffrey. He got in the end zone. It still wasn't a great week. Houston's a tough defense. And the fact that he got in the end zone against them, there's a lot to come for Kittle. And he had what? It was Atlanta the week before. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm all in on Kittle. I think he's going to skyrocket after this week.
especially with Purdy coming
Yeah,
back. I
yeah,
think that's a
yeah.
big deal of like what I mean, he only played 2 games, but
Yeah,
when he comes
against
back.
brutal
Yep.
defenses. So,
Yep. My buy at tight end is Jake Ferguson.
yep.
It seems like kind of the most obvious one. I think a lot of people will be trying to do this, but he's shown he can have big games with Pickens as the one, CD as the one, both of them in the game. I think if you could get him for a reduced price and people are freaking out about his involvement off of 1 week, go do it.
Yep. My sell of the week at quarterback is Jordan Love. We've talked about where it's like he's good against in the right matchups. So I think with the Steelers being really bad, Jordan Love is my yeah, he's my sell of the week. I think you could maybe get something for him. So
Yeah, I just like I said, like just his history these past 2 years really turning things up of like week 9 on.
mm,
I do I mean it's biased, but like I do buy into that. Like I don't think like I think he takes
I
some
think he's so
time.
matchup based
Yeah,
though
that's
for
fair too.
fantasy.
I would agree that if you could get
He's a
like
good NFL quarterback, but for fantasy, I think it's
yeah,
really
he could be
matchup
hit or
based.
miss. But I would say like if you could get an upgrade like to a more
Yeah,
consistent
that's what I'm
dependable
thinking.
guy,
You could probably
like
trade him for a haul right now.
if you could give like Love and like another top asset for like Jaden Daniels, Lamar, like
If you could somehow do
but
that,
like I feel like Love carries some value. Like I think a lot of people start him on a weekly
that's what I'm
basis.
saying. That's
So
why I
like
think he's a good trade.
so yeah, no, I that's a fair for an upgrade. I definitely agree. I was having t a tough time with sells this week at quarterback and running back.
That's fine.
I went
Yeah.
with Bo Nix as my sell or no one. I just feel like
I
Nix.
think Bo, this is a good time to sell.
No, Nix has had like some good matchups in terms of defenses that he's playing against, and he's put up some massive games that like what is he's got to be like a top 5 fantasy QB right now in
He is
terms of like points
he's
scored.
five. He's number
5.
5 on the
Yeah,
year.
so like he's has the production to prove it. So again, I think this is more of like if you get an upgrade, like Knicks and someone to go get like a
It's
monster.
very
Like
possible.
so that's Knicks or no one. I was having a tough time with the sell, but
I think Bo's a good call, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah, my sell at running back is RJ Harvey. I am off RJ Harvey. I think some people are going to buy into that as his breakout game.
yeah,
He just barely got any work, barely any snaps, and it just happened to work out for him this week. So I think you could go get a haul. I think there's a chance like you could go get some guys like Kyron Williams and like some people are going to buy in how
yeah,
like a
yeah.
lot. So
Yeah, I wish I could disagree with this one, but I do agree.
yeah,
Like this is a good time. If people don't read into like the game script and just look at the box score, they
yeah,
could so I like that one.
yep,
My again, running back was I was just looking at the matchups and people avail like it was ETN for me. I feel like this is definitely a sell. Like you're selling him at his lowest value because he's had
yeah.
horrible games, but I know you feel a little differently, but I'm just kind of like out on ETN.
I think it's fair. I'm in our league, the guy who has ETN, it put him on the trade block.
Yep.
And for me, with no real running backs, like
So
no real running backs, like for me, I'm like, I want to see if I can go get him. Personally, I think that would be an upgrade for my team. And I think this is the lowest you're going to get him
mm,
unless it goes the exact opposite and they start working in Bayshall 2 in, and this would be the perfect time to sell him. So I think it's going to go one of two ways. I kind of think he's either going to go back up and be a little bit good again, or he's going to just plummet to nothing.
yeah.
So for me, it's like it's worth a shot with my team needs.
He could easily be a buy, but I think at the same time, if this trend continues where he just
Yeah,
can't produce, then it's like he has no value.
yeah.
Like people could still be on the fact that the first 4 weeks he was the RB1. Like so like
Well, that's where I am.
yeah,
I'm
so it
like,
could be you can look at it
I
either.
think it's possible,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm like, I offered Pollard and Worthy for him. So to me, I'm like, it could end up being a lot giving that up for ETN if he fails to produce.
Yeah.
But at the same time, knowing what he could do, like I think it's not a bad
Yeah.
shot.
He's a buy or sell, but like
Yeah, he's a weird one.
yeah, tough one.
You kind of just got to pick your side.
Yeah.
My sell of the week is another Bronco. It's Troy Franklin. He was a number 1 receiver on the week. So go sell him. I mean, he had the soft matchup, 2 touchdowns. People are going to be like,
Really? Number one
Troy.
receiver on the week.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
like 26 points. But yeah, he's legit. Like people are going to think that he's legit. And I think he is a very good receiver, but I don't think you're going to get him for a better price than right now.
Yep. Yeah, my receiver sell of the week is Travis Hunter. A little bit of an interesting one because might be a Debbie Downer on this, but everyone's on the Travis Hunter train. He had a
Yeah.
breakout game before the bye week. Most targets in a game, most yards in a game, scored a touchdown.
Yep.
Looked like the Travis Hunter you take at number 2 overall. I just don't see that volume like being stable. And I
Mm.
think that they have a chance to sell him at like what everyone thinks is similar to RJ Harvey, but like a much better like potential to have a breakout. You could sell him at his breakout, upgrade a position to a guy that's more consistent that you can trust will get targets. I think it's a good opportunity. This could bite me in the ass, but
Yeah,
I think I just don't see the production continuing to that
I
level
think
with
it's a
it.
good point. Like people, you could maybe get a wide receiver one
Yeah,
because Travis, people are
in a
buying into Travis
package.
Hunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's a good point. My sell at tight end is Goddard. He got in the end zone twice again and feels like he's very startable week in, week out. But at the same time, I'm like, if I can get off of him right now and people are like, oh, I love Goddard, like sell him. He had
Yeah.
3 targets, 3 of the catches, and 2 touchdowns. So like, yeah, I'm just out on Goddard. He feels too unstable for me.
I feel like we've been bouncing back and forth Goddard as our tight ends. So like I feel like I've had him a couple
Yeah, yeah.
times. We're just waiting for praying on his downfall.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But yeah. My tight end sell again. People are gonna hate me. This guy's
Yeah.
a big time name in fantasy right now. It's Oronde Gadsden. The reasoning behind it, listen, I have him in a couple leagues. I'm loving this
Oh, that's
breakout.
awesome. Yeah.
But like I just like is he a top five play? Is he a top seven play? Like, can he sustain this? We talked about how crowded the Chargers room is already.
Mm.
Like,
You know who you could maybe get for him, like straight up, is Tyler Warren. And I think I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I would say more so like Kittle, you could probably get
Oh,
over.
if you could do Kittle,
But
oof,
like, I don't think you could get either of those guys straight up. But like,
try it.
I'm just saying in terms of an upgrade, like I think
Try
like we
it.
talked so
Yeah.
much about the Chargers receiving room. He's very much prone to having a down week and all these other
Yeah,
guys
that's
stepping
yeah.
up. So I think this is like it's cloud nine. He could do no wrong. He's a lock start for all these people,
Yeah.
top five play.
I
Like it's just a
don't
sell.
mind
It's
it.
a sell in the terms of like it's gone has the hype gotten a little too high, expectations a little too high. So
I don't mind
I
it.
hate putting it,
I
but
really don't
for
mind
you
it.
guys at home, I want you to
Yeah.
capitalize.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Start sits last week. We did good. All right, I'll go through mine. I think I went like 5 or 6 of 8. I hit on Bo as a start. I hit on Derrick Henry as a good start. I missed on Wandale. I hit on Mason Taylor. So 3 or 4 on my starts. My sits, I whiffed on Justin Herbert. I would say I hit on Jalen Warren. Definitely hit on Debo. And then Waller, he ended up hitting IR. So I guess like
That's a hit.
I guess we can
Jeez.
kind of just take him out. So I went like 5 of 7.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Okay.
Um, as for Vin, I think this is our first 8 of 8. I
The
mean,
Rodgers is the debatable.
starting Dart as a hit, that's huge. Swift was a hit, Odunze was a hit, Pitts was a hit. 4 for 4 on the starts. I would say Rodgers, like in comparison to everybody else, like he's a fine 16 points as a quarterback, not great.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
give you it. Bill, good sit. Diggs ended up getting in the end zone, so he had 10. So it's not like a crazy like, but
yeah.
he went like 3 for 14 with a touchdown.
Okay.
So like 10.4, I mean, you could put that in the middle if you
Yeah.
want to,
Yeah.
but not bad. And then Hawkinson was a great call too. So like, yeah, I mean, no true misses. We'll put it that way.
I'll
No true
take it. We'll
misses.
try and keep it
So
going.
huge, huge. Getting into this week, I love my starts this week. Every single one of them. I'm loving it.
Uh-oh, we could come back to this next
It
week.
definitely it could, and of course, this is going to be the week. Of course, I'm like, oh, this is bona fide, lock
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
start them. This is going to be the week I
Yep,
go 0 for
exactly.
4.
Yep.
But the Pittsburgh Steelers have been terrible. I mean, terrible against the quarterback
Quarterback.
position. Like every single quarterback, Sam Darnold produced. Like name every quarterback, they've been producing like crazy. So. With that being said, Daniel Jones playing against them is my start of the week. I think it's going to be a big week for Daniel Jones, who already has been producing week in, week out.
Mhm. I'll go with my start now.
Yeah,
I'm going to start Jordan Love against Carolina. Like I said, I believe in him kind of taking a little bit to warm up into the season. It's a great matchup
it's a good
against
matchup.
Carolina, who gives up a lot of points, but does tend to stay in games. So I don't think it's a one where like we chalk it up like, oh, Packers are going to win by 30. Jacobs has 4 touchdowns. Like I don't think that's the case. I think Love goes out and does this thing again. Is you can definitely start him in a 12-team league.
Yeah, I like it. My start at running back this week, getting torched all season long and then torched by Jonathan Taylor last week is the Tennessee Titans. For me, I'm starting Kamani Vidal. He looked great last week. It's another week for him as the workhorse and a great matchup. I'm starting Vidal, and hopefully he doesn't fall flat.
It feels like one that just can't. Like it
Yeah.
feels like he can't fall
That's what I'm
flat.
saying.
But like
all
I
of my
know
starts this week, that's why I love them.
someone's got to
But
do it.
yeah,
But this one was a sort of a weird one. I like Chase Brown against the Bears this week. We kind of talked about
remind
in
me.
our D in like going through the Bengals game of like he's starting to pick things up, and the Bears feel like a good matchup again.
It
Like
is, yeah. I
their
mean, I took
defense.
Derrick Henry against them last week,
Yeah.
so
So I think, it's a sign of things to come for Chase Brown, how they used him last week, and I think it continues against the Bears.
yep. At receiver, this is the defense you like to target the most. So against Dallas, I'm taking Marvin Harrison. It hasn't been a good year for him, but this is the perfect matchup. We should have Kyler back. They're after the bye. I almost feel like if Marv busts this game, it feels like you could probably drop him. Well, don't do that, but like it'll just feel that way.
Yeah, no,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like
I know what you mean.
Marv has to produce this game, and what feels like it should be a bounce back for him.
Yeah, no, I thought about Marv as mine too. So like you said, this feels like one that can't miss.
It
But
feels that way.
yeah, my starter receivers Waddle against the Ravens.
Great start.
I think Waddle has been to his guy very clearly, very obviously, with Tyreek Hill going down, and the Ravens defense is horrible. I
Hmm.
think it's a game where like the Dolphins could stay in it even with Lamar coming back, or hopefully coming back. But yeah, I like Waddle against Baltimore.
Yeah, I like that too. My tight end start of the week is, I hinted at it earlier, is Kyle Pitts versus my New England Patriots. Look, they just can't guard the tight end position. They've been beaten up there all year long from a fantasy perspective. They're like bottom five as a matchup. So you target this matchup specifically.
Hmm.
And, they might take out Bijan because Bijan, I mean, this team, you can't run on the Patriots right now at all. Like, no team has ran for over 50 yards in a game against them this season, or nobody, I mean. So yeah, I
Wow.
think you start Pitts in this game here, and yeah, it feels good. It feels really good after Fannin and Njoku produce against them.
Yep. I like this is probably my biggest long shot start
It
that I've
is.
put this
It
year.
is.
And it's a guy we kind of hinted at. I was
I
sort of
almost
starting
took it, dude.
really.
Yeah, so I
Wait,
like it.
oh you do.
I
Okay.
like it,
I was
yeah.
kind of hinting at like this guy's usage. It's Colston Loveland against Cincinnati. This feels like one that I just want to call like a breakout game. It's a good matchup. Cincinnati's defense has been getting obliterated by
They're
everyone.
terrible.
The Jets just lit him up last
Yeah,
week.
Mason Taylor looked
So
good.
it feels like a good opportunity with Colston
He was
Loveland
my
getting some
start
more
last week.
usage. You start Colston
I
Loveland this week?
started
Oh,
Mason
Mason Taylor.
Taylor
Okay.
last week, and it was good. Yeah,
Yep. So I mean, I think Cole Kmet will be out again. He's on
yeah, yeah.
IR, so I think. But regardless, I think Loveland. It's a long shot. But I kind of want to call like a breakout game, so
I
I just
like
threw
it.
him on
I
there.
like it. Yeah, this is a ballsy sit now that he's QB5 on the year, but I'm sitting Bo Nix. It's Houston that they're playing, and Houston's defense has been the best in the league. So, yeah, I think it's a bad matchup for Bo, and I'm sitting him if I can.
That's a bold one, but I like it. Like
Yeah,
I think he's due for a dud.
yeah,
My sit is Stroud versus Denver. I think it speaks for itself. Denver's kind of been like a
dominant.
monster against
Yep.
all offenses, but Surtain's out. We'll see how that changes things. But I still think
It's
Stroud's
still
not back to that
brutal.
level of just throwing for 350 every week.
Yeah. I'm going for the third straight week. My sit of the week is going to be against the Packers. And it's the combination of Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. I think you can sit both of them pretty comfortably. Um, yeah, it's a bad matchup. We still don't know how it's going to shape out for them. Now,
Mhm.
if Rico takes over, Rico's so good that he'll probably have a good game.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting both because we don't know what the split is just yet.
All right. Trace, my sit at running back is Tyrone Tracy versus the Niners. It feels like a very popular pickup this week. People are going to start him. I'm just more in wait and see mode. Like I
Mhm.
think he was pretty inefficient, even though he had that starting role last year. So I'm just kind of in wait and see. I think you could take a week off if you have the depth and just kind of let him sit on the bench until he does something.
Yeah, my wide receiver sit of the week with the way they've been spreading the ball around. I'm sitting Stephon Diggs versus the Falcons. Falcons have been really, really good against defenses as a whole. And, Waddle ended up getting in the end zone and he looked good last week. But, I don't know if I see the path for Diggs to get there. So I'm sitting Diggs if I can.
That's an interesting matchup for the Pats against the
It
Falcons.
might be tough.
Yeah, I think that could be a
Yeah, I
sneaky
mean,
tough
May
game.
looked good against a legit Browns defense, but the
Yeah,
Falcons are legit too,
yeah,
so we'll see.
yeah. That's a game to watch.
Yeah,
My receiving sit is Terry McLaurin against the Seahawks if he plays. I
if
know
he
he got a
plays,
little
yeah,
banged up. I just think the matchup in general, Witherspoon and Woolen,
yeah,
deadly cornerback duo. The Seahawks defense overall has looked pretty good. And then McLaurin is just, I don't know, like it's Debo 1 week, Luke McCaffrey's catching touchdowns,
yep,
McLaurin's been out. It just feels like a weird situation. I wouldn't buy too much into his touchdown again last night.
yep. Lastly, my tight end sit of the week is Evan Engram versus the Houston Texans. Brutal matchup again. Yeah, I'm not biting on Engram and in a bad matchup like this.
Yep. My computer died. But my tight end save was perfect timing. Was Hunter Henry against the Falcons. I think
Yeah,
similar to what you
same
said.
thing.
I mean, Hunter Henry to begin with is a very touchdown dependent. Like the
Yep.
only volume he's getting is a touchdown, if
Mhm.
that's possible. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
my sit.
Yeah,
No,
don't
not
play him.
much to
Don't
that.
play him.
Yeah.
I just checked if there's any more live news, but there isn't. So, yeah, that'll be it. Four teams on bye this week, so best of luck.
Yep.
Hopefully we do well on our calls again, and yeah, we'll see y'all in the next episode.
Peace, everyone.